Okay, so I think I'm here. I think I'm here. Can people see me? Am I around for you? Excellent. Lots of nice people. Damien, Esteban, Pudato, hello. Vanling, nice to see you. Mate. I'm afraid there is zero clickbait of this particular stream title because yeah, I am actually aiming to make Nuxt UI usable without Nuxt, and so there's this issue on Nuxt UI, which is the roadmap for version 3. And one of the things that Benjamin wants to do for version 3 is make it compatible so it can be used with just Vue. And honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, hopefully this is going to work. So okay, Vue compatibility, and I haven't looked at it before now. I've just very confidently said to Benjamin, "Oh, this shouldn't be a problem. It should be straightforward to do. You know, we'll lose some functionality because obviously it's not Nuxt, but it should be possible to do." This is the problem. So okay, so there's more stuff than I realized, but hey, let's see what we can do. So basically, I want to, I guess, start with Nuxt UI as a base. Let's pull down some changes, and I guess I want to see which branch I'm on. So I guess this is not the dev branch. Let's see, dev. Yeah, 723 changes. It's been a while since I've looked at this project. Hey Reaper, nice to see you. Kaizen, look, it looks like it looks like the messages, like the chat isn't entirely syncing. That's super weird. But hi Woof. Alexi, nice to see you. Cool. I see. Okay. So right. Okay. So this is still. So okay. Where's version 3? Okay, there was a branch called version 3. Yeah, this seems more like it. Right. Let's install our dependencies. Oh, for goodness sake! I think I can delete all of those things. Great. Is it? I feel like I'm glowing. The sun is extremely bright. In my still. This is not a problem we often have in the UK, but hey. Neil, yes, thank you for finding it for me. Okay, yeah, exactly. Vampire mode. I sparkle. That's what I do. Anthony, nice to see you. Exactly. I'm not quite sure how to deal with all of the. Hey, thank you, Yoel. Not sure how to deal with all of the sunshine. You know, I don't know. In the UK, people totally go full on. Like when the sun comes, it's like it's another level. People strip off all their clothes. They go outside. They jump in water fountains. Things like that. There's really a very real thing. Yes, that's yeah. Okay, so I have managed to install the dependencies. Let's run the playground just to see how stuff works. Okay. Cool. Oh. Is this actually happening? Okay, there's some stuff going on there. Mehmet, good to see you. Okay, so let's just fire up our local dev server. It's not working. How can I do this if the dev branch isn't working? Okay, maybe there's some extra steps to start it. Maybe we need to prepare. I bet we probably need to prepare the. Let's try that. No, in retrospect, this is almost certainly what you need to do. Okay. Try that again. Hey, Delphin. And Hugo. Is this Hugo the one I think of who just launched Shelve the other day? Or are you a different Hugo? Yeah, okay. There we go. We've got a playground up and running. This is... Ooh, hello. What's going on here? Refresh. Okay. Don't know what that was, but I'm guessing maybe a cache issue with a previous version. Ooh, that's beautiful, isn't it? Some nice stuff going on. Okay, so basically we need a... no, you're a different Hugo. Apologies. Okay, so we need to somehow make it possible to use Nuxt UI with Vue. And so I think it's the most helpful thing is just to start playing around and see where things break, because they will certainly break. And so let's start a new Vue project with Vite. I guess maybe Vite would be a good start. Vite dev. Okay, get started. Scaffolding your first project. Good, this is what we want. So we're going to use this, and we want Vue TS probably. Okay, we're going to start a new project, and we're going to call it Playground Vue maybe for now. Amazing, that was fast. Okay, so now in here, I guess we can get rid of some stuff. And let's get rid of that too. And let's just add it to our workspace. We'll do Playground Vue, install our dapps. And let's get going. So we want to be able to do Playground Vue. We want to be able to run our dev server. And hey presto, we have presumably got the Vite dev server running. Great. Now, I think the next thing that I want to do is just drag across the contents of our nuxt app into our Vue Vite app. Yeah, well, the aim here is very much not to make this, not to change the experience for Nuxt users. So obviously, Nuxt is still going to be the priority for Nuxt UI, but as much as possible, if we can make this sort of usable for others. Okay, so let's just clear out some of this stuff. So we don't need a lot of that. We're going to just call this app.vue. So actually, we'll just copy it across. Okay, so get rid of that as well. We're going to copy our app. We're going to copy the app config, the types, pages, and components. So if you've never converted a project from Nuxt to pure Vue or the other way around, it's pretty straightforward. So basically, we have to check that we're not using some auto imports. That will be the main issue. This would be an example. So we'll just basically say, remove the auto import there. Ooh. Well, that's interesting. Why are these in a folder called types? Oh, no, I think I just dragged it in the wrong folder. Right. Okay, so we have our pages and yeah, I guess a page for every component. And then we've got all these components that aren't going to work at all at the moment. Hey everyone, sorry that it seems like the connection, the Algora connection to Twitch and so on has sort of failed. Let's see if there's anything I need to do to re-enable that. Just give me 1 second. It says it's connected. But just reconnected it. I don't know. So yeah, the idea is that this should work. The aim here is that this should work with plain view. So at the moment, I think this is going to be badly broken. So if I refresh that, yeah, there's no file nuxt UI. Well, okay, we want to look in playground view. Let's see where we're referring to it. Okay, we have our, that's this. Okay, let's comment that up for now. And let's, okay, this is going to be a very, very slow process, I guess, of just getting the library up and running. So, yeah, Esteban, I'm not touching the nuxt dx. Okay, so that is presumably failing because it can't resolve any of these components. And use app config isn't defined. Yeah, it's not. So we're basically going to have to create a little to-do list for ourselves like this. Okay, so for const global of I think where's this being used? Import router from view router. This is version 3. Okay, and we're just going to do that. Okay, ref. Okay, great. We have some custom elements that we need to implement, which obviously makes sense, right? Martin, nice to see you. Okay. Okay, we're rendering the home page. We also need to be able to render our page. So we'll say router view. And we need to register the router. Equals create router. We're going to do, I think, what kind of history? Web history. Is that right? Just do a quick router docs. We have an SSR starter that we actually use in Nuxt itself. Hey Lerner, nice to see you. It has been a while. Bird and Joaquin, nice you're all here. Okay, so we have, here's just a very quick router example. Okay, that's fine. Right. Oh. Let's try that. Okay, we have some things working. So we're actually displaying our index page now, and it's, yeah, that's great. Was there anything else? I'm kind of, oh, the navigation menu, like none of that is being displayed because of all kinds of things. We don't have, we haven't implemented that yet. Okay, good. So we're sort of, we have our routing set up though. And I bet if I went to, let's just check components alert. Yeah, that's right. So it is loading the page, it's just not displaying. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, probably the most the straightforward thing to do, is have a look at what the module is doing and seeing how we can replicate this for Vite, pure Vite. The way we have to implement that, of course, is through a Vite plugin. So we need to create a little Vite plugin here. And this is ultimately going to be extracted, I would think, to a different place. But for now, we can implement it here. So I wonder, it might be worth using unplugin so that technically we could use this outside of Vite. So that might be a way to do it. Hey Shreyas, nice to see you. So we're going to do that. We're going to install unplugin. And good. That's fine. Okay, so we are going to export nuxt UI unplugin or nuxt UI plugin. Create unplugin. Okay, and we're going to return our plugin. We're going to say the name is going to be nuxt UI. We might actually need more than one plugin. So, but for now, we'll just call it nuxt UI, although we will at least make it an array. And we are going to, yeah, that's fine. We can do like a config resolved hook and just say, oh, that may be a Vite only thing. This is so weird. Okay. All right. So nuxt UI enabled. I am very well, thank you. I am doing something I don't know if you ever thought I would do, but there we go. Okay, import nuxt UI plugin. And we're going to add that to our config. Okay, now, is that going to work? Oh, like we should expect to see nuxt UI enabled in Vite. Great, if only console logs were all the thing we needed, right? So, right, what do we need? So we've got some stuff like nuxt UI can't be imported. Now, why is that? Oh, we probably need to resolve it. Oh, we probably just need to add it as a dependency here. So in our playground, we have nuxt UI, and we'll just add that in here and install our dependencies again. Hey, what's Nuxt? Nuxt is a framework for building full stack web apps. So you can find out a bit more about it at nuxt.com if you want to check it out. So it's, yeah, lots of great stuff, I hope. And it's pretty, yeah, I think you might like it. So you can give it a go. Try Nuxt in 100 seconds, I think, from Fireship if you want to see some of the things it can do. You can get started, like play in your browser if you want on StackBlitz, or you can start it with a CLI. So there's lots of options if you want to play around with it. How old am I? Okay. If you ask me questions like that, I'm going to have to ask back, how old do you think I am? And then I'll tell you how old I am. Particularly if you've always wanted to know. Right. So let's give this a go again. 29. 35. 39. Forever 24. 69. Pros and cons. Third time 15. So you mean 45? I did not make Nuxt. No, I lead the team at the moment, but I'm very much a latecomer to the Nuxt project. All right, so I wanted to check. Okay, it can resolve it. Great. So, however, still we can't resolve all kinds of components. So that's fine. We can tell Vite how to find them, right? And in particular, I think what we want is an auto import preset. So Nuxt UI plugin. We'll need basically to register plugin JS.io. We want auto imports. Yeah. Auto import. This is the thing we want. So we're going to add that. So I am 39 is the answer. And 45, 43, I'm not talking to you again, that's for sure. Let's see. Oh, we have to start it so one more time. We also have to configure this. So we want to create an instance of this unplugin auto imports and register it. So unplugin auto import, and we are going to consult the documentation. We are, oh, it's just a subpath. Okay. That may make our life a little bit harder, but okay. So we might ultimately end up telling people that they have to configure it themselves. So Nuxt UI or Vuetify, I think they're very, very different projects. I, by the way, have no dog in this fight, as it were. So it's great that we have Nuxt UI. It's an amazing project. But it's not meant to be the official Nuxt UI library. It's just because people needed a library. And so Benjamin Kanak built it for a project. And it's fantastic to be able to sort of have first-class integration like that. But I'm really excited about stuff like Vuetify, Prime Vue, and there are other UI libraries out there that I want to have just as good an experience with Nuxt. So it's I'm afraid you'll need to compare. Auto import, right? Oh, I think it probably does have a. Yeah, it does. Okay, so we basically have the default, and we can actually access here when we're creating the unplugin I think we should be able to access options and also some metadata. And we can basically do const meta meta framework. So basically we can create an auto import plugin. So const auto import plugin equals auto import meta framework. And then we're going to create that and configure it. And then we're going to return that as one of our plugins. So it's going to be sort of pre-resolved for our users here. So Aussie boy, nice to see you. Let's see, what did you say? Yeah, exactly. Choice is what we're all about in the Nuxt ecosystem. So you can choose. You're not forced into anything. Auto import plugin, we're going to want to register the, we might need a globbing library. So we'll use tiny globby. And we will want to do something like import glob from tiny globby. And we are going to want to do something like const components equals glob, and then we are going to need to pull that in from, we're going to change this, right? At the moment, this is just, this is in the playground, but ultimately this is going to be a separate library, right? So we're going to want to glob, can I do async? No, we might need glob sync. We're going to glob, and we're going to say const component is file URL to path. And we'll import that from node. And we are going to read that directory. And we're looking for, I guess, .vue files. And we are going to pass that as our working directory. We're going to, I guess, have okay, so where are we going? So we're into here, so up into the playground. Oh, did I put this in the scripts? How is this in scripts? That's surely not in scripts. Did I just drag it there? Weird. Okay, so let's pull that out of scripts. And so it should be up 1 level, up 2 levels, and then source runtime components. Again, there's some stuff here that we'll do around the build, but we just want to get stuff actually working for now. So let's just log that out to check that we are doing this correctly. Components and component, which I think is probably not right. I might need another level. Okay. Okay, oh, it was right. Okay, great. Okay, so we have a list of our components, and these all flat. Okay, cool. And we probably also need to log in our composables. And so we'll do that. So we'll say, we'll call this runtime dir. And we'll say const, we'll just join runtime dir components. And we'll actually just use path. Yeah, it's definitely configurable. So great. and we will do the same for composables. And we've got some types and utils. I'm guessing it's just the composables and components we register. So let's see if that's possible to do. Like register view components. So we basically, okay, cool. So there are a couple of things that we need to do. So we probably need more than one auto import plugin. So one auto import plugin we probably will need in order to make these components work. I think I might be wrong. Let's see. No, we all do use explicit imports. Okay, that's cool. And of course, that is a current limitation of the module builder. Hey, Kevin, it's nice to see you. I don't know if you're going to get Holiday Daniel vibes, but I feel happy. Okay, so what is unplugin Vue? Cool. What is using unplugin Vue? Oh, cool. Right, we want unplugin auto. This. Yes, okay, so we need this one as well. Right. Right. So we are going to do the same here. And we are going to, right, okay, so we've got some stuff. Yep, Shreyas, yeah, the dependency tree is growing. And yes, it's, yeah, different plugin, thanks for letting me know, Anurag. Right, so, how do we configure this? We configure this with, thank you, what are the options? DTS, cool. Let's do that. And okay, that's probably something we can document. Right, and we have some resolvers. Cool. So let's just create a custom resolver for ourselves. And we can basically fairly easily, I think, say it's always going to be capital case or Pascal case. So we should be able, oh, do you think I can just do does? That would even be easier. Cool. So I don't even have to scan it. I just do this. Oh, it's not as simple as that though, because they have a prefix. Is that configurable? So can I do a, no, I think, yeah, the cat is very quiet. I don't know where she went. We might need, I think we can basically do const component names equals new set components map c dash u c. That's pretty good. And basically, if component names has component name, return Do I have to return a... What if it's just the default export? Do we just say default? Oh, don't you worry. We just need to get this running first, and then the options will come. Like, so because at the moment we're not worrying about the options, but we will like have nuxt UI options, right? And we'll support pulling this in and configuring it. So, but at the moment, that is, you know, I'm doing it step by step, right? So we would want, yeah, I'll have to go through the module and have a look at the specific options that they have. So we're going to return this as well. I don't think we need the auto import plugin yet specifically, but we probably will in a moment. Okay, so basically default from components, component name, .view. Cool. So we could also do a map, which might be easier. Hey, tech support, nice to see you. And human, nice to see you too. Okay, so I would expect if we did this, that maybe we'll get different errors. Okay, so we're expecting to get errors because hopefully it's going to resolve the components, and then it's going to complain about imports not working into this. It's not resolving the components. Okay, what's being called here? So console log component name. And let's try that. Oh, wait a second. It said no imports have been defined. Well, that's interesting. Do we basically have to configure the oh, it's complaining about this, I guess. No, it's complaining about this. So that's fine because we're not actually using it. Let's try this again. Okay, so I'm getting in stuff. Component names. Lazy mistake. Thank you. Yay. Right, that's good. This is really good, people, because it's resolving. Is it resolving them? Let's just check. Does that file exist? No. Components. We need to drop the prefix, right? So basically, we'll start the work on the prefix, right? So we'll say, what is the prefix? Okay, prefix for components. And we will say, I don't know, const prefix equals options prefix for you. Obviously, we'll refactor this, and we'll say prefix, and we will drop the prefix here. So we'll say slice prefix length. Right. Let's try that and restart. So yes, amazing knowledge tech support there. And yes, and Q, nice to see you too. All right, so what are we actually can't even start the dev server. Oh, because we basically, options is not guaranteed to be defined. So we'll just pass it empty object. And yes, okay. So this is great. This is another good error because it means we are importing the component correctly. Now nuxt link is not working. we basically probably need to just return, okay, if component name is nuxt link, return name is router link from Vue router. Now we've got some other stuff. So all this imports going on, we're going to have to resolve that. And also the build app config and so on. But we do have our component auto importing work, which is good. The key is to expect the error, right? You have to expect the error. The error is going to come. So when it comes and you expected it, then that is good news. That is my theory. So I don't know if anyone else agrees with me, but I'm going to stick with it. Yes, that's what I'm going to stick with. Okay, so we're going to have to gradually go through a list of some stuff that it needs. So build app config is the first thing. So we have this ability to import from app config, and this is how Nuxt UI is doing a lot of configuration steps. So we have this app config here, and we have some default options, and we're going to need to duplicate all of that basically in our thing. So ultimately, we're going to want all of these same options, all the same module options, to be respected in our Vite plugin. So let's actually just handle that. Why not import module options from Nuxt UI? Is that a thing? And we will basically just say, there we go. So now we just have access to all the same options. We also need to have a look at our default values. So we can say, we'll probably end up sharing them. So do something like export module default. And we will pop those in here. And we'll import the module defaults and use those. And then we will manually resolve the options. So options, it's going to be, we'll use defu, and we'll basically do it like that. This one will be underscore options to avoid duplication. And okay, that seems straightforward. I'm actually just going to, oh, Shreyas, you're going. See you later. Okay, so we're going to see if we can make things a little bit more straightforward. So, so one thing we can probably do is already split this out into source. So let's create a new folder, and we'll call this plugin. And we're just going to move this thing out because I feel like we're going the right direction, and but we're adding dependencies that really shouldn't be in the playground. And I think we'll be happier if we end up here. So this, I think, will be better. So let's just do that. Let's have a look at the dependencies that we've added. And we basically want these all as dependencies of the module. Let's just check that they are. Okay. We'll clean them up in a bit. Okay, so we can drop them from here. And I think all of those were here already. Okay, So we're just going to rerun our install, and I'm going to create the subpath export in our, I'm going to call this plugin, and this is going to be plugin like that. Oops. And I guess we don't do, oh, that's interesting. I'll have a look and see what that means in a moment. Let's try installing one more time. You haven't. There we go. I'm so sorry that basically the chat isn't coming through. I'm going to have to pull in Restream chat, I think. Yep. And we will adjust the Algora chat so it doesn't, oops. There we go. Sorry about that, but it's weird that it's not syncing with Algora. Hey, Hayden. Okay, so let's see. Now in our Vite config, we're going to need to import from, not from Vite plugin, but from nuxt UI plugin. And we need to run unbuilds, nuxt module build stub. Stub. What am I even doing? I think it's build stub. Okay. So we should now be able to access that, right? Dist. No. Oh, maybe I have to add it. Yeah, we already have our entries here, so I'm going to add a new entry and say source plugin. Yeah, there we go. So now we should be able to import here, and oh, why is that? Oh, it's complaining because it needs options, whereas we don't need options, right? So, but I guess, okay. We'll sort out the type issue later. Okay, this is great. So this is already, the chat is ready to display messages. Thank you, guys. Okay, so back into Playground View, and let's see, is it still going to work like fail in the same way that it did before? Let's hope so. Yes, good. Okay, so we've successfully migrated the Vite plugin out, the plugin out, which is good. And I think we can also do a few more little things to make this the same. So, and I want to reduce the difference between the Vue playground and the built-in playground. So let's do that. Okay, what are our directories? Remove all my changes to default playground. Just stash our changes for now. So what we want to do is actually, I think, we're just going to add a dev dependency of the of auto imports, not for anything else, but just to make the playground more similar. So we're going to add unplugin auto import and import it here. And just register it so that we can use like the Vue preset, which otherwise will be used in, let's see, Vue imports Vue. Okay. Great. So that should just make our playground a little bit more simple. And then in our app, in our source pages, so the components, this is exactly the same thing. So I think, Do I not see subscriber alerts? No, I didn't. What's going on? What do I need to find out? Okay, open my browser and go into Twitch. What do I need to see? Welcome to the chat room. What am I going to find out? I'm so confused. Hey, Daniel, nice to see you. Who knows? Who knows? I will find out, I guess, at some point. I think I might see subscriber alerts if I were looking at them. Flycrow, hey, thank you. That's very cool. 6 months. That's very impressive. Thank you. Okay, so auto imports view, and I think what we should do here is scan not the playground but the parent playground. So let's try that and see if it still works, because then we can get rid of the duplication between the two. Thank you, Aussie boy. Goodness. Okay. Right. It's gonna work. Seems to be working. Okay, so we can delete pages. How about app.view? Well, I guess this is the thing that we can work on to start with. Okay. Now define shortcuts. Where's this coming from? That, I think, is probably, yeah, it's one of our composables. So I think we don't need this anymore. We should just be able to use it. Okay, so now we just have these build app config and imports. So thank you. It's very good. I clearly need to do this more often. Okay, so we also, I think, can drop the components. Those will be, let's see, playground. Please exclude .nuxt. And oh, they are used in the playground by this components thing. Okay, so we can handle that as well. Not in there, but we can use the auto imports thing. We also therefore need to have the auto import the unplug in view components. Okay, and we now need to see, so human, who are you then? Because I must have seen your PRs, but I don't know who human is. Oops. Oh, that was a nice website. I think I always love it when I load a site and there is no layout shift. Like it's just the right thing in the right place. So I like that. Oh, that you would be a spammer. Okay. Oh, you write articles. Interesting. Oh, this is great. People are always asking me about Nuxt content. I need somehow to have like a location where people can post their. I actually think this isn't a custom web font at all, is my guess, but I might be wrong. Yes, it's just native fonts, which often are, which are the best in terms of performance. No, Nuxt UI name is not going to change. It is just going to be Nuxt UI still, but we're having this extra ability to okay. Right. So we have Vue components, which which we will need for this components in our playground, right? So let's pull out the pages; they're not required, and the components, they're very small. So can we just do does? Yeah, we can just do does, and so we'll basically do up playground components, I guess. And then I think we don't need to have these components here, so we can delete those. Okay, so I think this should be much simpler and hopefully more maintainable in terms of like sharing the code between the two. So if somebody updates one, we get the other updated. And let's just confirm we can still run the dev server. We're getting the same. So the key thing with Nuxt is the dev server does not matter. Like dev dependencies don't matter. So because none of the dependencies will actually be installed when you go to production. In fact, I was talking about the tips. I created a little tip on the output folder, which is here. Thank you, James. That's very kind. You noticed. So that is maybe a useful link. Right. Okay. Define shortcuts is not defined. Well, that is, my friend, because we haven't defined it. We need to use our auto imports and basically do. Maybe we can give it the does. Okay, wonderful. So this is as simple as the composables directory, and I hope, and then we can just register that here, and hopefully that's going to mean that we have defined shortcuts defined. Good and bad, because for some reason I'm now getting an issue that it's not finding it's not finding our components. Why is it not finding our components? Let's try this. Why would that not work? Thank you. I'm really glad you say that, because actually I got a lot of negative like thumbs downs on the latest short. So here, like look, not there. Look at this. 7 thumbs downs. I can't believe it. Anyway, I don't know. I'm assuming that's because YouTube showed it to people who weren't interested in Nuxt and they gave it a thumbs down, rather than people who were interested in Nuxt thought this is a terrible video. But you never know. It's exactly how dare they? Okay, next page, and we'll turn router view. Oh no, this needs to move to Vite config and playground. Oh, I need to connect the components resolver. Well, I'm guessing that must be documented? Okay. So does that, I'm a little confused. So are we saying that we basically just have we move this bit into, so which, okay, Joaquin, what are you saying? We need to have the components resolver, which is here. You have to connect that to the auto import resolver. So basically, do this. So just this. And presumably that means we don't need this at all then. I'm not sure I quite understand. Let's just log these. Yeah, none of this is components. But I mean, you're clearly right in that it's adding the auto import plugin which is causing the issue. So I think if we do this, it's difficult to say. Let's try going here and defining that. No, we still can't resolve them. Okay, so this is caused by the refactor of moving everything around. Let's just confirm that. So what is our runtime directory that we're having here? It is that right? It is. So to get our components, just confirm what's going on here. Ah, no components found. That's weird. Why would it say no components found? So I want this to be purely runtime. It must be a path is wrong. Yeah, you're right. That must be the case. But drop auto import plugin again. Okay. So, and let's just log. Because it might not be. No, it's got all of them. So I think it might be that we deleted a components folder, and that is maybe making auto import plugin destroy itself. This was working fine a moment ago when we were in a different place. Nuxt, nice to see you. I have to change directories. You tell me, Esteban, because I think this is resolving correctly. So yeah, so okay, I mean, but if I give it I don't want it to scan directories because we have a custom prefix, right? So ideally, I only want it to resolve. I only want to be able to tell it what components to resolve, right? Rather than maybe does false or something. Can I pass it a Boolean value? Scan. I can try passing the component structure. I just don't think that's the behavior I want. It might work though. No components found. That's weird, isn't it? Yes, there is, Anurag. The way is to use get cache data. There's an option in use fetch and use async data. It's ignoring node modules, which is a pain. Oh, it's saying if there's no resolvers. So there's a problem here because we are passing resolvers. So I don't understand why it would be saying that there are no resolvers, right? There are resolvers. Unless this is why. Okay, so that's the issue, I guess. So if we do this again, it's working fine. So the issue, I guess, is this. This was the problem. Maybe we can't have more than one configured. That I guess is maybe the issue. So we'll disable it for now, and we'll have another look back at it in a moment. So if we try this auto import plugin, and we'll try rerunning the dev server, and load the page. Well, I mean, it's failing, obviously, because it can't load hash imports. So where are we loading hash imports? Great, I'm glad we're in the playground. Now let's look in runtime. Okay, so we're using, so I want to see everywhere we're loading, loading something. So it's use app config, use route, use state, use head. Okay, so we have, to start with, use state, use app config, and use route. Good. Okay, so we can easily rewrite that. So in our plugin, we need to add support for this. So let's just drop that. And resolve these things. Okay, so the point of unplugin is to be able to write plugins that work for more than just Vite. But you can write plugins that work in Rollup, in ESBuild, or Webpack or RSpack, etc. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so what are we looking for? Okay, state, use app config, use root. Oh, now this is actually now resolved because we have our merge, so we'll just say options prefix. Good. And let's just add our loader. So our loader, now our resolve. So we'll say resolve ID, and if ID equals imports, no, yes. We could just add, I could just have a file, like a stub. This is a tricky one. Well, we can basically do this. Return ID. Okay, and then we'll do load ID and load include ID equals ID equals imports. And then we're going to load it. So the thing is, auto imports could probably transform it for us. I think it probably could. So before I finish writing this, let's just check. Because we have basically, that would be better. That would be more performant. Now, so we do that in nuxt. We have transform imports or something like that. Imports module, and in here we call a okay. We have a transform plugin, and we call inject imports. I think. No. We're going to hash imports, and it's virtual imports, right? Okay, that's what we want. So we're going to do the same there. Wait, virtual imports. That's just being passed through, right? So it should be, oh, is it, it might not be supported by the unplugin. Okay, so we might have to do this anyway. So if ID is imports, yeah, okay. So load the ID and return. Okay, export const use router from view router. And we also are going to, what else do we want? What's going on? Why is it not resolving U app? Is this because of this? No. So I've done something else that's not that's not good. What have I done? Why is this not working? It was working a moment ago, right? Not that. Not that. Oh, maybe this. Let's see. Undefined. Why is it undefined, people? Module defaults has a prefix. So we should therefore have options prefix. Why is options undefined? For goodness sake. Why is options undefined? Maybe it's I need to stub the module again. That's super weird. Module defaults. Why is that? It's not even importing it. It's undefined for some very, very strange reason. Let's come back to that. So And I think that is because somehow it's because of our stub mode here. So let's try this one more time. And I think we're back to the we can't import build app config. So we'll handle that in a second. So we'll basically say let's allow loading those IDs. Let's add back our auto import plugin and build. I might do this as separate plugins. So we might have okay, so we'll say build app config. Great. And then we are just going to resolve that like this. Right. So let's try one more time. Failed to resolve. Build app config. Ah. Okay. Build UI avatar. And this is because we have, I think in our module, we have an alias, which is UI. Yes, we have all these templates, which are virtual files. Okay, so we basically have all these virtual files, which we're going to need to refactor a bit because we need to support these in Vite. Okay, this is a big deal. Alvaro, did you appear? Hey, nice to see you. Sorry, I missed your message. Right. This is going to be a bigger deal because we have to refactor all of these things before they're going to start working. I'm almost tempted. I'm almost tempted. So, okay, build UI. Right, what are we going to do? Okay, so we basically, let's just try and create a little stub that's going to work with these things. So we're going to import, import this. Let's just try, oh, that's right, because we're alongside it. So, and we're going to import that from index, right? Because we're in the source, oh no, module. Let's try that. Let's see if that works. Yeah, okay. That is what we were meant to do. Okay. Cool. Right. Okay, so we need these things in our imports. Okay, so those should be pretty basic stubs for our auto imports for now. Aussie boy, are you still doing these gifts? You're so very kind. Okay, so, right, we are going to see. Okay, we're going to see what we can do in regards to these templates. So we're going to import them here from import from templates, and they are it's like a function which is add templates. So basically, we are going to create a function so to collect them. So function collect templates, and we're going to call it so. Add templates, it doesn't return anything. I think it just runs. And it has this add template function. The add template function in nuxt-kit is going to do some stuff. It's going to do this basically. And think it might be as simple as we just provide the right kind of options to it. So we're going to say add templates. Okay, we need to know this. So we're going to create a fake nuxt. And it's going to have an options, and it's going to have app config, and it's going to have UI, and it's going to have some icons. And we're going to create this fake app config in a little moment. And so we need for add templates to pass some options, and also to pass our fake nuxt as nuxt. And then we're going to return fake nuxt dot options build. The thing we need is build templates. So we basically need to provide that. So it has to have build templates like that. Templates. And so let's just try this and see what happens. So const templates equals collect templates, and we're going to log them out. Anurag, I'm not talking about cache. I'm talking about get cached data. It's a specific function which is called. And it is in, Alex Lichter has a video on it, which might be helpful. Okay, nuxt instance is unavailable. Where is it being called? Use nuxt. Where? Add templates. Where is use nuxt being called? Are we calling it anywhere? No. So it's being called by add template. Add template must be calling it. Oh, rats. Okay. Right. That's a pain. Oh, I will support loading app config in a moment. We just haven't yet done it, but that is definitely the plan. I think we might want to do something like this. Let's just pull this out, the template out, and okay, here's what we're doing. Okay, so we're basically, instead of calling add template directly, we're going to return the templates, and then what we're going to be able to do is in the module we'll just register them, and so we'll say like nuxt template, and we'll basically say templates push, and then wherever we say add template, we'll do templates push, and here we'll do templates add type template is a little bit different because it also does this. So and then basically what we want to do is okay, so what we want to do is okay, call this get templates, and then we'll have export function add templates, and then we'll do exactly the same thing as before. So const templates equals get templates options nuxt. For const template templates, we are going to if template dot file name ends with, oh, have to return it. Ends with .d.ts. Add type template, else add template as text type. Great. Okay, that should keep the module working, and it also should mean that we are able to get the templates. So instead of add templates, we are just going to do get templates. And so we don't need to do any of this. We still have to pass the app config. So great. That should work. Ish. Still going to fail, right? But I think it should give us some templates. Yes, we've got some templates. Good. So what we want to do is, I think we probably have to support the app config before we do any more templating. See, we have to, we also have to have our options. So we're going to pass in our options here. We're going to call this next to our options. And pass them in here. And pass them in here. Right. Let's try that. Okay, good. And now what we need to do is handle some VFS stuff. So our templates, and we're going to do this once. So const VFS is an empty object. It's going to be a record string. And we are going to, are we going to do it at once? Let's just say const template keys is templates map t to t dot file name. I guess they all have a file name. And great. And we're going to say that they're all going to be, oops, hash build, like that. And we're going to make it a set. And then we're going to have a VFS. So we're going to basically have our, oops, we're basically going to say if template keys has ID, I'll return ID. And then do the same here. And then we're going to return templates find and what am I doing? What is it complaining about? Oh, we need an argument. So it needs to have, let's see what we require. So basically we have our get contents, and are any of these reliant? No, they're not. Great. So we don't need to pass them anything. Let's try that. This might work terribly. Oh, I do actually have the whole cafetiere. So refilling the drink, which you're right was very empty, is relatively straightforward. Okay, build UI link. Oh right, it also needs to have oh, interesting. Okay, so basically, we now have to do the same down here, right? So other way around. Oh, interesting. Okay, so some stuff is loading, other stuff is not. That's weird. It's going better than maybe you might think. By the way, this whole thing, this will all need to be refactored, right? Like this is very early, very early implementation. The question is just, can we get it running? And we have, okay, modal is importing something. What is modal importing? It's importing question mark import. That's weird, right? Okay, maybe it's this hash imports thing. Maybe that's what it is. Let's comment those out and see if that causes an error now, then that was the issue. Yes, it was. Okay. But not from modal. Okay, I'm going to go, I realize my coffee is actually rather cold, so I'm going to go heat it up and add some milk, and I will be back in a jiffy. Don't go anywhere, I'll be back in 5 minutes. So see you in a sec. Okay, I am back. Let's see, I don't know, was that 5 minutes or not? But yes, this is aimed to work on plain Vue. I had a thought while I was pouring my coffee. We should probably return a different ID. So we'll say instead virtual nuxt UI imports like that. And try this. Okay. No. Okay, so what is coming in from modal? Aha, okay. Build app config. Ah, that's probably, this is the build thing up here. So we return instead there we go. Okay, is that going to work? No. Okay, I have to do exactly the same up here. Okay, we're going to basically return ID replace build with and it's probably going to fail because we have to replace the prefix everywhere. Exactly. So what we would want to do in that case is yeah. This is the kind of thing that gets refactored. Well, that's, yeah, it's very kind. Like it's this kind of stuff, but the basic approach is probably going to be, I feel, very similar. Oh, hello. Yes, it is. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. Yeah, we don't need const. What is that? Export. There we go. We're getting there, people. This is very encouraging. As oh, we need to. These are TypeScript files, so we have to make sure we transform them. We have to make sure we transform them. So maybe this is a good opportunity to start improving the implementation here. So those are our components. Our auto imports are here. Our templates are there. This is the thing, the build, the templates plugin. We basically need to return it like that, plus TS. And then I think we can get rid of this. Yes. People, do you see what I see? We're rendering something. Now, it's not Tailwind styled, but these components are being loaded. Okay, now we need to check the router. Like, in styling it with Tailwind, that's the simplest bit, right? Because that's going to be the same. Right. Hi, Abhinav. Nice to see you. Okay, so let's just quickly check our routing implementation in our playground. So we have up, up. There we go. Let's try that. That's weird. Oh, do we have pages? Oh, right, because it's this. We need to replace that. Okay. That's also weird. Oh, because now I added twice the level of... Is that right? No, it's not right. Still not right. One more. We are very much seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. We're very, very close. But often then there's lots of extra stuff that you have to do at that point, right? Like I feel we might need to include, because this is by the way, this is just a playground thing. This is not a serious issue. So this is just because I want to avoid duplication. We could almost certainly just, for now, it's playground app pages. Okay. And it probably still is this. Okay. Yes. Okay. That's better. So now we are getting no router errors. We're getting some warnings because we don't have some injected symbols, but that's because we haven't implemented the plugins for Nuxt UI. Sean, hello. Good to see you. Right. This is very cool, isn't it? Right. So we are making our way there. Let's just stash it all so we've not got anything that we haven't saved. Right. So I'm doing pretty well, actually. Feeling pretty pleased about what we've done so far. So right. Now, what's next? Okay, it's the symbols, right? And we should have, this should be our homepage, and I should be able to click. Stuff's not working, presumably because, oh, use fetch, interesting. And there's also a suspense. We need suspense. Okay, so we are going to have to write ourselves some to-dos. So we have, we need suspense, use fetch, use somewhere. Oh, and we also need to add app config, proper app config support, not just the stub. And we need to, what else do we need to do? Right. Okay, let's, what should we do first? Let's, okay, we should probably sort out the, we won't use input, so we don't need the fetch, but we should sort out the symbols. So we have, let's see, we have these plugins. So we have a modal plugin, and we have slide over, and we have colors. Okay, the modal and the slide over are the easiest ones here. And I think I'd like to just use them. I mean, so we could do two different ways of doing this, I think. So one, we could just copy this out and have like a duplicate plugin. But the other is that the ideal would be that we effectively are able to use the nuxt source for what we need to do. So we're going to say that we have got a virtual file, and we are going to transform it. So what does that look like? We want to what do we want to do? We basically want to inject something into the runtime of the entry file, like when we initialize Vue itself. Now, ideally, we would do something like, so in our app.vue, so, oh, I should drop that, right? Yeah, good, it still works. And I think can do use app config now, right? Or maybe not. Does it work? No. I'm sorry. I think we do need, however, in here to implement suspense. It's worth saying. So let's just check. Do we have any async? I guess. Let's just see if it works if we stick suspense here. And go to input. Yeah, that's fine. I say that's fine. I assume it's something related to this symbol not being provided rather than. Oh, interesting. Placeholder. Oh, that's for the playground. Let's see if we can get that sorted. Yeah, this has broken everything again. Let's see. Is it going to complain? No, it knows it exists, but evidently it's not okay. Like we can't have more than one. It seems like we can't have more than one components plugin. So I'm going to, for now, just stick that in there and hopefully that will work. It seems to work. Ah. We have some issues like slight differences between nuxt link and router link. Let's go back to our home page again. So actually, I'm going to, what is that? Modal and slide over. I'm just going to manually do these plugins for now, because I'm trying to think whether we effectively want Nuxt UI to have its own Vue plugin that the user has to call, and that might be the best way to do it, right? That might be the best way to do it. But for now, we have our plugins, and so we'll just copy that out. Should we do that? Well, I'm just going to copy them for now, and we're going to stick them in here, and going to slightly modify them. So modal, it's just going to say you're going to ignore all the types here. Right? So, ooh, we need that thing, whatever it is. Ooh, interesting. Okay, maybe this is not the right approach. Okay, we're going to have to do it. Sorry, I'm thinking. Okay, let's go back to plugin and try it like this. So we're going to basically create another plugin. I'm doing this bit mostly to like simplify the logic, and we can always combine later. So we're going to call this plugins. And basically we're going to have a virtual file, another virtual file. Maybe not. Yeah, I have to have another virtual file, right? Okay, so if if id equals nuxt UI plugins, can't be right, return id. So and then basically the same is going to be here. Okay, then we're just going to return an array. Export a default okay, plugins, and let's try the modal one. So the it basically that's So we have install app. Okay, so basically this is going to be the format of our plugin. No, it's not going to be a function. It's going to be an object which has an install app method. And then what this is going to do is do these things. So it's basically going to have to like get all of this from these plugins, and it's going to do a provide, and it's also going to do the slide over. Right, that makes sense. So ideally we want to import these plugins and transform them. So we're going to say import modal plugin from modal plugin path and import slide over plugin. And then we're going to basically want to say modal plugin, no, app use modal plugin, app use slide over plugin. And we're going to have to transform those plugins. And we're going to get the paths of them. So const plugins equals I'm going to hard code it for now. And it's going to be then modal.ts. And slide over. And basically, we'll transform those files. So we'll say if id, if plugins, some plugin, console log plugin, return code export default install, and then we are going to want to use those two plugin paths. And we're going to want to import this, and we're going to want to import that in our entry point of our playground. I'm still not sure if this is the right approach, but we'll see. I would ideally like to be able to do this automatically, so. It's obviously not working. Next to our plugins. Let's try hash UI plugin. And let's replace that here. Still not working. Okay, that's obviously incorrect. Oh, I'm looking at it from composables. It should be plugins. Okay, so we are in fact transforming the code. And so in this case, what we want to do is say, let's just check. Got some code, great. So what we're going to want to do instead of define nuxt plugin is, or we're going to create our custom wrapper. So we're going to do const define nuxt plugin nuxt equals, sorry, nuxt app. No, it's not that at all. Let's try this one more time. So function define nuxt app, define nuxt plugin, and it receives a plugin, and we are basically going to return a Vue plugin from this. So we're going to return a install, and what we're going to do is pass in Vue app like that. And do we do anything else in these plugins? We just accessed provide, and slide over, we just access provide exit. So we're just accessing the Vue app. Colors is more complicated. We'll have to do that in a second. But this should be fine. So we're going to run that, and then replace this. Right. So equals code replace and that. Okay. What's the impetus? Does there have to be? Hey people, it's working. Ta-da. The impetus is that Benjamin asked me to do it, and I'm always up for a challenge. I really don't think, like, hey, playground, happy days. Yeah, okay. So stuff is working much better. Okay, there's some toast stuff. What's that? We'll have to look at that in a second. But for now, the plugins are working. Great. Oh yes, we probably have to access some properties. So now the next thing is the app config. Sorry, the impetus. Basically, so Nuxt UI Pro is, yeah, it is Nuxt Labs initiative, but this isn't Nuxt UI Pro. So this is just an open source project, and we know people want to use it outside of Nuxt. So we want to make it possible for them to do that. Like any project, you want it to be able to be used. I think, but I mean, you'll have to ask. You have to ask Benjamin. Right. Okay. So we've got the plugins. Obviously, this needs to be much more stable. We need like source map support. We might as well do that, right? Okay, source map support. Oh, no. There we go. We have source map support. Oh, Flo, do you have one? You've built one? Shreyas, you are back. You have returned. I just have to make sure that I'm not missing any phone calls. So I am having a call in a little bit, but not yet. I also have a message. Well, I mean, have you raised that with Benjamin? I would definitely suggest the conversation. Right, so what is happening? Right. Okay, the thing that we now need to do, I think, is, well, there's two things that we need to do, right? So we need to get the Tailwind bit working, and we need, like, probably fair. Let's just open in another window the nuxt playground so we should see what it should look like. Okay, so these are our two options, and we want this to look like this. So let's see if we can do that. But I do think I need to get the app config working first, because we do, so in our module, we have our options, we have our module defaults, which we're using. And now there are some things here. So the theme, the alias might not be supported. Okay, we want our UI. Okay, this is our app config here. And we have our plugin. Cool. That's pretty straightforward. So let's just add this here. And actually just let import it. And we're just going to directly add it back. Okay, stuff's starting to come together. Now we obviously need some stuff for the color mode and fonts. We're going to set those to be false in our plugin. So we're going to say omit module options, color mode, or fonts, because those are not valid. And also the defaults will have to be false. So we'll need to stick them in here. Right. Okay, what else do we need to do in our module? We want NeoVim is really neat. You should definitely play around with it. So here's this. If we go into this project and open it in NeoVim, so it looks like this. The way I have it set up anyway. So it is. Oops. So you basically you could click around if you needed to. You can navigate by keyboard. You can see like all the get stuff. You can open files. You can and even if you're typing in here, you would do something like const a equals ref. You get sort of autocomplete. So all the same stuff that you might be used to in VS Code, and this is not a bad sort of experience, right? And a lot. I mean, all of this is configurable, and then you also do stuff like you also have stuff like, oh, where is it? It's been a moment since you don't like it? Oh yes, it's Shreyas, so no wonder. Anyway, so yeah, you should try it out. How many doors are in this room? There are only 2 doors, but it may look like there are more. So basically, there's a wardrobe behind me. That's a door. That's a door. That is a mirror. One thing you can do, obviously, is try the shortcuts in VS Code. See if you like them without changing too much. And then if you do, you can more easily transition to the editor if you want. Okay, so right, what am I doing? So basically, we want to make sure that we have got all of that we do all of the normalizations. So what we want to do here is this, effectively. So we're doing all of our normalization options, and I think later to do split out into shared utility. And then we want to get our app config. And then this is basically our app config. So basically, const app config is going to be this, but we're going to want to handle this. We have to import icons from here. And we also have to import pick. Ooh. Interesting. And do we need anything else? Yeah, we need to basically handle the default value to do. Allow user customizing the app config. Unfortunately, so yes, I think YouTube people should be able to see your chat. Yeah, Rogora confirms. Oops. Oh well. I will. Right. Okay. So we have. Okay. So we have our app config, and this we use in a couple of places. Let's see. Do we need anything else? We add that. We're registering the module. We have our plugins. We're registering our components, our imports, templates. I think we've done all of that. So I think basically we just need now to pass the app config in so it can be resolved. So what we want to do is have our virtual module of app config. So if we're importing from this, then we are going to return this. Okay, so that should work, right? And we now have use app config, and so we should basically import from there. So we're just going to return it like that. Let's see if this works. Difficult to know. It's obviously not working totally, right? Because the font size is different. I wonder why. Ah. Do we have a... I wonder if it's this. Let's get rid of that. Oh, stuff was... Did something happen? Okay, so we got rid of our default CSS. Now in app.vue, oh right, we had an import that I commented out, this. Interesting. Oh, there's one thing. This is very similar. Like, very similar. This is pure Vue. And it's working. That's not working. Ignore that. Just assume it was working. This is pure Vue. And but I think the only thing is that we need to add some root attributes. So we need isolate, and I think that's it, right? So if I were to go into my index.html and add, we say roots, that would be body class equals isolate. That's good. And yeah, the color, that's true, the color mode. So we didn't add that plugin, which is quite a lot more complicated, right? But not necessarily. So where do we use nuxt app? So I think we probably need to use like Vue use head or unhead. We probably need that as a dependency and to register it. And this is probably going to be important. Yeah, because this is where all the colors are coming from. Okay, so that's a very good point. So basically in Nuxt, we have our head module, and we basically have unhead Vue. And we have all of these things are coming from unhead Vue. So we're going to need to do this in our, make this a dependency of our project. And we are going to do exactly this. So we need to make sure all of these are defined. Okay. And we're also going to have to refactor our previous implementation because, you know, half of these things are not I think that we should rearrange it anyway. Okay, so basically at the moment we define nuxt plugin as this, but we actually just need to update that in our imports bit here. And we would do it like this. Okay, so that way we don't need to specifically add this code. We might still need to do some other things, but I think we should be able to. Let's try that. It should work. Great. So the plugins are still running correctly, but what we want to do, I've commented it out only because we might want to do some more. We have how many of them? Slide over, and then we now need to add our colors, which is obviously not going to work. Let's just make it more generic. So No, let's not make it generic yet. Okay. Let's see, color mode plugin. And this is probably going to break it. Yeah, it's not working because it has it doesn't have an import called use head. So we're going to add that one in. What about now? Use nuxt app. Okay. These should probably go at the top anyway. For goodness sake. Interesting. Let's see what it needs, right? So it's definitely is hydrating, and it also asks for this. And that is probably, we need to probably make that to be the case. Okay. And it also needs to have a payload and server rendered false and okay. We need to register unhead. So there is. Does that stop it? It was a light. So I need to do one more thing, right? Our plugins. So we have those 3 plugins, but we also need to do one more, which is import from views. No, from unhead view. And what do we do in nuxt? View app views. We need to just create app use head. Right. So we're going to do this. Cool. That's interesting. What is the... This is weird. So it's saying that inject can only be used inside setup. So where are we injecting something? Let's see. Inject. We're not. Provide? No. So unhead must be doing some injecting. So where's that? Use head. Are we doing any injecting? No. Inject. Aha. That's overhead. Hi, Ponky. Yes, IO readers, that doesn't sound fun. Why would this not work? Because I would fully expect, because we've just followed the steps here, head, app use head, and then you can use it. But maybe the problem is that right. That's a bit strange. Why would it not? I wonder if it's okay. Anyway, let's see if it worked though. Like, did it actually add anything in our head? So I want to see, what I want to see is that it added why would it remove it? Oh, I see, it just creates it and immediately removes it. So we have some styles. I'm not sure it did anything. Let's try logging out head data. Okay, so it should add a style which is nuxt UI colors with some inner HTML. And did it do that? Why would it not? Because that's being added by Vite. But I would expect there to be a style added. Let's just comment this out and see if anything is added. Okay, so why would use head be complaining at us like this? So we're calling it here. And calling use head. Wait a second. Where is it? Use head should be inject head. Aha, okay. So this is not working and it's complaining because inject isn't working. And I wonder if this is because we're like pulling in a different version of Vue or something. Like maybe we need to, maybe there's an issue with the fact that I'm just sort of importing from Vue use of unhead Vue. So I don't know why it's not affecting the document. But let's just try this. So, oh, that's weird. Oh, I see what that is. That's so that we basically, okay. Like this is not how we should do it, but let's just try this. This is Nuxt UI, but for Vue. Exactly, you're totally right. Very good, very good guess. So let's just create it, and we're going to append child style, and style.inner HTML is going to be root.value. Okay, let's do that. See if that changes things. Oops. Yeah, it's breaking. No, it's not breaking anything. It's just not working. Let's just see what it is. Ah, what is root value coming from? So we're trying to get this, but obviously maybe this is the issue. Aha. Okay, so the problem really is that we can't get colors. So obviously our app config isn't what I'm expecting it is. And that is probably because, haha, right. Okay, so the issue here is that I'm returning app config like this, but it in fact should be UI like that. Okay, let's try that. Great. Okay, that is now what we were expecting. Now we still have this issue with our plugin in that I guess this isn't working. So oops, not you. That. Okay, so we can do that in our plugin. This is a thing that Nuxt requires. A lot of code in Nuxt requires, and so I think we just need to do that here. So we say config. I think we just say it's false, right? Okay. Try one more time. Wait, not false, but true. So we should have some content in our head. Not. So weird. Import meta client should be defined. Let's just move it out of here and into the transform hook we had before. So basically, like within this plugin, we are going to do the transformation. So There we go. Okay. That is much better. We're now pulling in some of this, I think. As in, it looks like that to me. Yeah, there we go. We have got some CSS coming in. Beautiful. And let's just check that that's not my workaround, because it might be. Let's remove that. Refresh the page. Still added. Yes. Good. So let's try one more time, just to confirm. And all good. Excellent. I'm really pleased. Okay. So, oh, hello, I'm spotted. Foji, yes, I often use Uno, honestly. I love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, Tailwind is more popular, and it's a better way probably to distribute a library that you want absolutely everybody to be able to use. But it is a pain, and I have definitely not used it for a project because I wanted to use Uno, but still doesn't mean Uno is the right choice for Nuxt UI. Right. Right. So yeah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look, we're getting the little hover states. Can I just take a moment to get some appreciation here that actually quite a lot of Nuxt UI is already working with plain view and some magic. Okay. Now, I need to figure out why we're getting these errors when we navigate. Like that's something we have to resolve. Okay, so let's go to toast. Right. Use app config is not defined in toast. In toast.vue. Oh, right, because we're using it as an auto import. Right, so we're going to have to handle that in our playground. Thank you. I received the appreciation, even though I asked for it. It is still appreciated. Disable auto import in the playground. Yeah, I could. We could add these in manually. But yeah, we could. We could simply go here and say import app, use app config from imports. Okay, that indeed is working, as in that error isn't occurring, but there's still this cannot read properties of undefined reading position. So let's see what that's coming from. We have, come on, app config toaster dot position. So that's odd. Okay, so in toast.vue, we refer to appconfig.toaster.position. But in fact, where would that ever be set? Because it's being set. Ah, right. Okay, this is because we're not reading it, right? So we need to do that. We need to support reading in appconfig. So what we probably want to do is, so we could use Jitty for that. I don't know if C12 is going to allow us directly to, let me just check and see what we do in Nuxt again. So I think we just, okay, we do use load config. But I don't think we need that. I think we just can directly use Jitty. Let's see, what do we, I think obviously we don't, yeah, in Nuxt we don't use Jitty. So what we do is say, import create Jitty from Jitty. And then we're going to use this thing to resolve the app config. So const Jitty equals create Jitty. Ooh, interesting. I think we need to do this in our Vite config resolved thing. So basically, because we need to know where we're being, where where this is being run. So let's copy the whole nuxt UI thing up here. Copy it to the top as the first plugin. And we're going to want app config to be defined like this. And we're going to set it at Vite config resolved. So app config is going to be that. Can I be async? Yeah. I'm going to read const user app config equals Jitty. Const Jitty equals create Jitty. Create Jitty. For goodness sake, config.root. User app config is going to be Jitty.import join config root app config, and we're going to basically say it's fine if it doesn't resolve, and we're going to, in that case, pass in an empty value and basically stick it there. Let's see, is this going to work for us? Oh, so the app config needs to probably be moved into the app folder. So at the moment, I think it's, it is in the source. So what is the issue? Okay, it's not the root that we want. Maybe it is the root. Maybe we just say it should be in the root. Because it's not really going to be a runtime. It's not going to be included in the runtime. Okay, so it's going to go with that. No. So the nuxt module is still the top thing. This is adapting the nuxt module to work in Vue. So the nuxt module is still the top. Okay, why is that not working? Oh, it's default. Right, we have to de-default it. So try that one more time. Yay. I think we need to do it like this, actually. And then here, where did I? Okay, we're getting a different error. But that means that the app config is working correctly in terms of loading user app config. But we have this weird error about a watcher callback in presence. radio group indicator presence. What kind of... So there's an issue with this toast plugin. Is there some custom toast thing? Oh, rats. But you've got to love it, right? Because do I have a presence? There's something there. No, that's radio group indicator. So let's see, primitive radio, primitive slot, radio group. So at what point, what is failing, right? This was also failing in some other places. Ooh, hash components. So this is a playground thing. So yeah, let's update that in the playground because that's easy enough, right? So we can just use relative. Oh no, we can't. Oh no. In playground. Well, I'm gonna manually open it. I will import a lazy modal. Okay, now why is that? What's this? Why is this not working? Because this is maximum cost. There's something interfering with the logging, and I can't think why that would be. So let's see what it is. I'm trying to format the trace. Are we doing any logging anywhere? That might be causing an issue. Hey, Nikki, good to see you. So basically Nuxt UI will always, it will work. It's designed to use the features of Nuxt, but it's not going to be, there will be things that you might be able to do with Nuxt and Nuxt UI that work better than with just Vue, I guess. That's a limitation we probably have to live with. But the aim is to make it work as well as we can without Nuxt, so people can use it in Vue on its own. Right. Okay, how am I going to figure out what's going on here? I'm just going to log it. So let's see. Come on. Oh. Why? This probably would work in any framework that works with Vue, mind you. So, why is it, why? Why can't I get access to the actual error? Let's try stepping on. Okay, well, I've got some stuff now. Oh, now I have this maximum call stack. But previously, let's cancel that for the moment. Right, I think I need to log somewhere else. Okay, where do I want to log? I want to log maybe... Okay, well... Unhandled error during execution of component update. And watch a callback. Is this the problem? That we basically have... So here's our toast page. Oh, is the issue that we... No, we have our Vue auto-imported. Okay, let's just drop out some components and confirm that what the issue is. Okay, that's fine, right? So let's see whether it's with any of these components. Okay, it's not. So those, ooh, interesting. Okay, we do have some warnings which we can handle. So our buttons have probably doing nuxt link props. Okay, so there's some stuff going on here where we probably have to handle somehow a different see rigor. We probably have to handle it's probably a new link nuxt link props. Of course. That's a good thought. Okay, let's go into main and say app. Which, so basically, I mean, this is a fairly minor error, right? So basically we're using, so I think Nuxt UI is relying on a Nuxt behavior of being able to be passed like an undefined to I guess. But why? So why is the button? Why does it have? Yeah, so this should just be a button. It shouldn't be using nuxt at all. So why is it? It's always loading ulink? So link. Why is link? Why is it always loading a link? What does raw mean? So does this mean that every button in a Nuxt UI project is really a Nuxt link? Because that doesn't seem right. Let's just use a button. That's not going to work. Let's actually go up to the button and say, I think I need to come back to this one because it does not seem like this seems a knotty issue. Well, I don't entirely understand how this is working, but I would expect a button would almost never be a link, personally. But this button is like a combined button and link, which I understand you often need something like that. But it's always, it seems to me, loading nuxt link. Like it's always coming in. Whereas I think it shouldn't even try and load a nuxt link at all if there's no to, for example. So maybe that's where we do it. We do it here, right? So basically do something like, but the problem is there's no way of rendering all of this if there's no to. So maybe it's something like button v if not that kind of thing, and then v else, and then basically, what is it complaining? And then basically we would render this. What is link base? Yeah. But just do this instead. Let's try that. Like we'll need to change this, but So I don't think this is the right solution, but oh wait, as is button by default. But the issue is it's still loading a nuxt link, right? So it doesn't matter. Like the thing that is being loaded this is going to render a button, but it still requires calling nuxt link, which is fine. Nuxt link is very tolerant of being called by other things, and I guess it's a custom. So it's but Vue router link is not. Router link is much more strict, which is why there's this warning. That's why. So this is probably not the right solution, but I just want to suppress the error so that we can get a better idea of what else is going on here. So if I re-enable these, we'll have our error again, right? So this, let's try removing those. So just our radio group. Radio group seems to be working fine. Okay, let's just have our checkbox. Not working. Okay, how about input? Working. Okay, so it's our checkbox that seems to be the issue. So let's enable it and then open the checkbox and see why that might have a problem. So what are we doing here? Okay, let's just confirm, is the issue something to do with setup, or is the issue to do with the template? So here's our checkbox, working fine. So it's not the setup, it's something to do with what's going on in here. Let's see, could it be this bit of the template? Yes. So the checkbox issue, it's somewhere in here. It's UIcon. Okay, because UIcon won't work because it relies on nuxt UI, I think. So it's calling this icon thing. And if we just, for now, put a div, that hopefully resolves. Okay, so basically the issue, the issue here is nuxt icon. And actually, if I had checked, it would have been obvious because Benjamin did mention that in the original issue. So, hey, Enrique, nice to see you. Okay, so we have found that there is this let's just check some of these things. Todd is an expert in accessibility, by the way, just before you pick a fight with him, just so you know. Right, so, okay, so we've done quite a lot more. Oh, there was a magpie right there. What? Okay, so where are we? We're making good progress, but I have a call in 10 minutes. Okay, we'll have a cage fight later on. I'll get both of you up, all of you up, and you can have a little discussion about button components. Okay, I do feel we'll get, like, this is good because this shouldn't have worked, like the icon. And actually, I wonder how much now does work now that we have disabled it, right? Did I? Okay. If I navigate around now, yes. Okay, people, stuff is working. So the dark mode obviously isn't working, but the rest of Nuxt UI is. Like, Look at this. Oh, there was a thing that didn't work. Okay, so we had, okay, card carousel, checkbox, chip, collapsible. Ah, that's just a playground need. Oops. Yep. People. Yep. Use fetch. Okay, we have to look at use fetch. Draw also. So some bits where we have some, and obviously there are lots of blank spaces where there are icons. More use fetch. Yeah, these are all working. This is so nice. Yes, there's a modal. And another modal. Okay, people. Whoa. Stuff is working. This is so nice. We just have like obviously use fetch. It's a very, very Nuxt feature. But this is very cool. And the also use fetch, it's just not working in the playground. Like that's not a Nuxt UI issue. That's just because the playground relies on Nuxt. But if you're building an app without Nuxt, you know, it'll be fine. Yes, people. Like all of this, I think this is what it's meant to look like. So if I fire up the Nuxt version of this, it should. I think the main difference here is that it's just, oh, the difference here is the font, which is the Nuxt fonts module, and it's also the icons. So I think basically we're there. So now there was some stuff that Benjamin mentioned in the issue, which was this: iconify view, view use color mode, and these are all working. Pretty much is all working. So great. Okay, I have to go because I do have to be on that other call, but I'll pick this up and finish it off. But we're pretty much there. I'll take a little sort of recording of it, I think. If only I had an invoice for this. Okay, right, we're gonna record it, and I'm going to try using that screen full. Did you see that? It's a very cool little app. Okay, I'm going to record the screen and done. Start recording, and we're just going to say accordion alert checkbox radio group select. Oh, command palette. No, this is not going to be a very good recording if they're all failing. We have to know what works, right? Right, people? So we can go all the way down, I think, to top to bottom. Okay, we're going to try that again. Okay. Drop that and retry the recording. Let's try this one more time. Okay. Okay, super. Thank you everybody for joining. It was so nice to see you. If you're on Twitch, let's see if we can find someone to go raid. Ending with Ali, go. Should give that a try. So, will raid ending. Cool. That extension, I will follow up with you, but it's called, what's it called? Cursorful. And it runs purely in the browser, and it's all local, and it's very, very cool. But anyway, thank you everybody for joining me. It's been a lot of fun, as it always is, and looking forward to seeing you later.